I don't know why, but Wrecking Ball by Miley Cyrus makes me violently sad in a way that transcends the human experience. That's just a bizarre piece of information about me for you. Hi, welcome back to my channel. Lately, I've been on a nostalgia trip where I've been looking back at pop culture moments and internet culture phenomena from when I was in middle school, which was like the years 2012 and 2013. It was a cursed time because I was the worst possible version of myself. I was a chronically online 12-year-old, just like an insufferable little internet gremlin. And it just blows my mind that that era was over 10 years ago now. So I wanted to rank unhinged and iconic pop culture and internet culture moments from the years 2012 and 2013. I included stuff that I remembered. I also included stuff that you guys said that you remembered. So yeah, let's do it. So the top tier is I still very much enjoy this, which is a self-explanatory tier. It's something that aged well and I still love it. Next is unhinged but deserves a guffaw, which just basically means that we can laugh at it or about it now. In the middle is just this is very 2012, I don't care, no explanation needed. Second to last is we seriously needed to move on faster, meaning that this wasn't necessarily awful, but we spent way too much time as a society on this. And then at the bottom is burn it. Just burn it. Bury it. I don't want to go back to it. And we first need to talk about the Call Me Maybe craze that plagued the internet in my 6th grade class. So Carly Rae Jepsen, icon by the way, was on Canadian Idol, and then after that she released the song Call Me Maybe with an iconic music video that is burned in my memory for all eternity. Then Justin Bieber came across it and then he signed her to his label. Bieber also made literally one of the most iconic videos to ever exist on the internet. It was him, Selena Gomez, Ashley Tisdale, some of the Big Time Rush guys, etc., all lip syncing and dancing to the song. The chokehold that this video had on me in 2012, the power it held, it brought this wave of people also posting lip sync videos to this song. And Call Me Maybe was legit such a bop, and I still think it's a bop, so I'm putting it under I very much still enjoy this. Now we've got the release of the song Cola by Lana Del Rey. I don't listen to a ton of Lana, but I do like some of her stuff. Like Snow on the Beach by her and Taylor Swift is legit one of my favorite songs ever, but I can't deny that Cola by Lana Del Rey is kind of unhinged. The song goes, my pussy tastes like Pepsi Cola. My eyes are wide like cherry pies. I got sweet taste for men who are older. It's always been so. It's no surprise. I don't think I've ever gotten over the line, my pussy tastes like Pepsi Cola. Like, good for her, I guess. I know she doesn't perform the song anymore because one of the lines references a certain disgraced Hollywood abuser. But for 2012, the line, my pussy tastes like Pepsi Cola, is unhinged but gives me a good guffaw. Next is a very Tumblr-specific cultural phenomenon, and that is Mishapocalypse. Actor Misha Collins from the show Supernatural was like Tumblr's president unknowingly. Like, everyone was obsessed with Supernatural on Tumblr during this time, specifically Misha Collins. There was like the super Hulock trifecta on Tumblr. You were some combination of a Supernatural fan, Doctor Who fan, or Sherlock fan. To be honest, I wasn't a real fan of any of them really. I was a Harry Potter girly in the corner of Tumblr. Fuck J.K. Rowling to be clear, but I was a Harry Potter girly. And honestly, because I was on Tumblr at this time as if it was my only place of sanctity, I know way too much about these fandoms. Mishapocalypse was this thing on Tumblr in 2013 where everyone collectively decided that on April Fool's Day in 2013, they would not only plague Tumblr, but plague the internet, quite frankly, with pictures of Misha Collins. They took back April Fools and made it Mishapocalypse. And like I said, I wasn't a real Supernatural fan, so I don't care. But next is the release and rise of the 50 Shades of Grey books. Apparently the first book was the most popular book of 2012. If you didn't know or you don't remember, these books were developed from a Twilight fanfiction series originally titled Master of the Universe. I'm not gonna bash on it for being related to fanfiction, however, I will say as someone who's read a few pages out of curiosity, it is a very poorly written book, and many people who have fully read it believe it to be problematic. The only people I ever saw or knew to have picked up this book and read even just a little of it have been middle-aged women, sometimes Twilight moms, and teenagers who just want to giggle at it. I would read an awful passage from the book, but I don't want this video taken down or demonetized, so I just think that it should have been left in 2012. Like, we should not have had sequels, we should not have had adaptations of this, so I'm gonna say we needed to move on faster. This next one unlocked a very bizarre core memory of mine from middle school, and that is What Does the Fox Say? When I remembered this cursed song, I kind of wondered if it was like a niche thing or not. Then I looked it up and saw that the music video had over 1 billion views, so no, it is not niche at all. The song was sung by Ylvis or Ylvis. It's so obnoxious and we have to burn it. Like, you know I love a good song from a comedy group, but oh my god, burn it. Next one is one of the best things to come out of this truly cursed time in my life, and that is the birth of Vine. Vine walked so that TikTok, Instagram Reels, and YouTube Shorts could run truly. Vine was initially released at the beginning of 2013, and man did it give us some gems. The way that we all collectively still quote Vines to this day, bond over loving Vine, make loving Vine our personality, and to this day I sometimes watch YouTube compilations of Vines titled Vines That Keep Me From Ending It All, so I think we have to put this in the top tier. You know what, I'm now noticing I have a substantial amount of viral songs here. The next internet pop culture moment is the song Gangnam Style. I remember when this started blowing up. It was catchy and it was funny to me back then, I'm not gonna lie, but long before the hype died down, I felt like I had enough of it. We needed to move on faster. I will say that I am grateful to this song because one of my closest friends in middle school was Korean, and I remember her being like, wow, out of all the Korean songs to go global, I did not think it would be this one. And then she was like, girl, if you like this, let me formally introduce you to K-pop. Ever heard of SHINee? And then my life was forever changed. So I'll give it that. It was the gateway to K-pop for me, and I can't take that away. But it still has to go in the second to last tier. Now we have the Cinnamon Challenge. Good Lord. So honestly, this had been a challenge for a very long time, but it randomly peaked in 2012. I know it was on Big Brother, but I specifically learned about the Cinnamon Challenge through popular YouTubers like Glozell. I don't know if y'all remember Glozell. I feel like I have to do a deep dive video on 2000s and early 2010s YouTubers. The Cinnamon Challenge was this viral internet challenge where you just consume a spoonful of powdered cinnamon. And we definitely should not have been doing that because apparently the cinnamon coats and dries the mouth and throat, resulting in coughing, gagging, vomiting, and inhalation of cinnamon, which can in turn lead to throat irritation, breathing difficulties, and a risk of pneumonia or a collapsed lung. Story time, back when this was going viral, my friends and I were at someone's house and we wanted to do the cinnamon challenge. However, we didn't have any powdered cinnamon. So, being the incredibly dumb middle school kids that we were, we replaced cinnamon with raw flour. It did not go well. In fact, there is a picture to commemorate me and my friends gagging and hacking up a lung. Do I show the picture is the question. This is shit quality because this was taken on a literal iPod Touch, but anyway, we're gonna burn it. Next is the whole 2012 phenomenon where everyone thought that the world was gonna end. Everyone thought that the world was gonna end because there was this ancient Mayan prophecy that said that another planet was gonna collide with Earth. But apparently, according to NASA, there was no actual prophecy like that, nor did the Mayan calendar actually end in 2012. But the impact of this rumor on the culture, we had books about this, we had movies about this, we had documentaries about this, and we are clowns. It's genuinely one of the most unhinged rumors that we have all collectively joined in on as a society. However, it is funny to look back on, so I'm going to put it in the second tier. Next, I thought I'd just rank the golden era of YouTube. We had Connor Franta, Tyler Oakley, Lily Singh, Ryan Higa, Swoozy. It was truly a time to be on YouTube. Like, early 2010s YouTube had my Asian representation. It's such an iconic era that I don't think we'll ever get back because all social media platforms are just overwhelmingly oversaturated and it's just different now. Not saying it's like worse, it's just different. I love the early YouTubers that I watched. Very glad I never consumed Colleen Ballinger's content. She's not who I mean here, but I'm gonna put this under the top tier. So the next pop culture moment is the craze and fixation on Miley Cyrus's VMAs performance in 2013, where she performs her song We Can't Stop, and then she twerks on Robin Thicke while wearing a giant foam finger as he performs his song Blurred Lines. I was in middle school at the time, so because I had half a brain, I thought this was a bigger deal than it was. In hindsight, I don't really think it is. A lot of people made a big deal out of Miley twerking, but honestly now in 2023, twerking does not faze anyone. People also made a big deal out of it because Miley was on Disney Channel just a couple years prior, so she was really trying to shed that Disney image. But honestly, people, especially grown adults, should not have been as invested as they were in the lives of these Disney kids. I don't really care, so I'm gonna put this in the middle. And next I have a pop culture, but specifically celebrity culture fixation, and that is Jelena, or Justin Bieber and Selena Gomez as a couple. I believe that they were on and off from years 2011 to 2018, but 2012 was really their peak, and everyone was obsessed. In an unhealthy way, considering they were like 18 years old. There are still alive and well fan accounts of this relationship to this day. I will say that I think they both have moved on, and perhaps we should too, so I'm gonna put this in we seriously needed to move on faster. Now we have the infamous breakup of the Jonas Brothers in 2013. I'm realizing that a lot of pop culture moments that were relevant to me back then are related to Disney stars. So for context, in early 2013, the Jonas Brothers had put out a single called Pom Poms, and I was old enough to know that it was a choice for them to air that during every commercial break on Disney Channel. So this was April, and then in June they released a single called First Time, and then they announced that they would be going on tour and that they are working on an upcoming album. Then on October 9th, 2013, they canceled the tour dates for the rest of the year and said that they needed to work out their creative differences. But then their Twitter account was deleted, and Joe Jonas tweeted, "Please hold while we get our shit together." A couple weeks later, they announced that they were splitting. In hindsight, they did what was best for them. However, in 2013, this was a personal loss to me, so we're gonna burn it. Next is related to yet another Disney Channel actor. The next thing I'm ranking is when Cole Sprouse made a Tumblr account, stirred the pot, and then told everyone that it was a social experiment. Look, if you were on Tumblr when this happened, then Cole Sprouse's whole demeanor on the Call Her Daddy podcast does not surprise you. So Cole Sprouse was on Tumblr in 2012. He called his account Culture Concept, and he engaged with many of his fans on there, which was really exciting for them, but also the parasocial was parasocialing, you know? A lot of his posts were really bizarre. Like, he would post long philosophical captions to his photography. He would get into heated discussions about social issues and philosophy. He would post really unhinged pictures of himself, and on top of that, he would answer fan questions. Then a month later, he posts this long-ass post where he says, "So my goal for this website was accomplished. I got all the information that I needed, and now I'm deleting this account. Thanks to all who watched, read, and listened. I hope that in some small way my words carried weight. The next time you see or hear from me, I will most definitely be a changed man. Before I go, I'll answer a question that people keep asking about my ring. My ring is the skull of a chameleon. The chameleon can see everything that happens around it. Constantly aware of its environment, the small reptile changes color depending on the situation it enters. Its very special form of adaptation is one I try to mimic. Every time I enter a space, I try to become aware of what I step into and change my color accordingly. The way I move, feel, argue, and all the discourse of my life changes in order to succeed within that space. This adaptation to environmental and social pressure will allow me to succeed, much like Darwin had so brilliantly noted. You take a role and embrace it, but know that you are never whole, and those who fall in love with you or otherwise fall for your performance, not you, for you is never constant. My life is Lokiness." That's not a real word. But there are many levels to deceit, and cheating is only frowned upon when you're caught. So goodbye, and remember that the next time you see or hear from me, I will most definitely be a changed man. So basically his blog was a social experiment where he'd been gathering information about humans, and then he deleted his blog. Then he made an insane Twitter thread about it, which I'll just leave here. Naturally, everyone was like, what the hell, man? Because he engaged with his fans on social media, then deleted his blog and also shamed his fans for engaging with him on social media. And this is honestly and genuinely just a pretentious prank to me and just so insane, and it's something I'll never understand, so I just have to burn it. Next is Just Girly Things. I don't know if you guys remember the internet post with the caption "Just Girly Things." It would be like, "Don't forget to smile today, just girly things. Always needing your coffee, just girly things. When he says forever, just girly things." And it plagued the internet, and people simultaneously loved it and also made fun of it. Eventually it devolved into people making it really unhinged with shit like sacrificing your boyfriend to Satan and using his skull as a cereal bowl, just girly things. Burning your boyfriend so you can snuff his ashes, just girly things. And it's truly incredible, so it's going in unhinged but deserves a guffaw. So then we have No, That's Becky. So someone on Tumblr took this picture of young high school Taylor Swift, and then in the caption they were like, "This is my friend Becky. She snorted marijuana at a party and she died instantly." And others were like, "Bestie, that's Taylor Swift." And they were like, "No, it's Becky." And it's certainly an iconic internet joke that I still enjoy to this day, especially because Taylor Swift herself joined in on the joke and wore a "No, It's Becky" t-shirt a couple years ago. So that's a top tier internet moment. So this next one is going to be hard to explain. It's Tumblr Prom and Tumblr University. This did become a thing before 2012, but it was still alive and well in 2012 and 2013, so that's why it's in this ranking. So Tumblr Prom was basically this thing where everyone on Tumblr collectively decided that you were supposed to slide into someone's Tumblr ask box, kind of like DMs, but it's an ask box, and then ask them to Tumblr Prom. Then on a specific date, you were supposed to dress up in formal prom attire, take a picture of yourself, and post it on Tumblr, and then you were supposed to reblog the picture of your date. And then Tumblr University is this thing where people on Tumblr were talking about the concept of everyone on Tumblr being able to actually go to school together, and then it evolved into people kind of talking about this hypothetical Tumblr boarding school / university, and then eventually people were actually making like edits and manips about what that would look like what the uniforms would look like, what the actual colors would be, what the crust would be, etc. And don't get me wrong, it is unhinged, but it truly was just like a bunch of young people just trying to find community and belonging and just friendship. The concept is sweet, even if it is unhinged, and I'm sure people look back on it and are like, Oof. So I'm gonna put this in the second tier. And now we have the Doge meme, the meme of the Shiba Inu dog giving bombastic side-eye. Legit do not care about this meme and haven't thought about it in at least 7 years, so it's going right in the middle. Another phenomenon on the internet during these trying times was the Harlem Shake. It was a viral trend where people would dance to a snippet of the song Harlem Shake. This got really popular at the beginning of 2013, and it got to a point where every day thousands and thousands of Harlem Shake videos are being uploaded onto the internet. And I think we needed to move on from this trend faster because I did not care about it then, and it was a long trend, so it's going in the second to last tier. Now we have the rise of the selfie. The impact of the selfie rippled into 2014 with the hashtag selfie Chainsmokers music video and also the iconic Oscars selfie. But the selfie became a huge thing in 2012 and 2013. Selfie was apparently Time Magazine's top 10 buzzwords in 2012, and by 2013, everyone was posting selfies and overusing the word on the internet. Truly a sign of the times. I don't care. Selfie just seems like a casual word in our vernacular now, but it's interesting to look back and see how much people were obsessed with it. Next is something deeply personal to me. Wrecking Ball by Miley Cyrus released in 2013. I don't know why, but Wrecking Ball by Miley Cyrus makes me violently sad in a way that transcends the human experience. It's my karaoke song. That's just a bizarre piece of information about me for you. Anyway, I had to include this in here. I still very much enjoyed this song and I'm putting it in the top tier. And to give you the duality of my music preferences, the next thing I'm ranking is the viral Cup song by Anna Kendrick featured in Pitch Perfect. This song is my last straw. Like, I know the Cup part because I've heard this song enough times against my own will. I'm sorry, but I want to burn it. Second to last is another celebrity pop culture moment, and that is Hailor, or Taylor Swift, and Harry Styles as a couple. So Taylor and Harry met at the Kids' Choice Awards in 2012 and they really hit it off. Justin Bieber later tells a tabloid that one of the biggest artists in the world has a crush on Harry Styles, but he's sworn to secrecy. Not Justin Bieber outing this relationship. Anyway, they're rumored to be dating, and then they're spotted a lot out together later that year, and then they split 1 week into 2013. But there's so much lore to this relationship, like so many theories. My favorite being that Taylor and Harry committed manslaughter via hit and run, because in Taylor's song Out of the Woods, which is rumored to be about Harry Styles, in the bridge she says, "Remember when we hit the brakes too soon, 20 stitches in a hospital room." This was such a silly, goofy time to be a Taylor Swift fan, or One Direction fan, or both for that matter. So for the lore and the theory surrounding manslaughter, I'm gonna put Hailor in Unhinged, but deserves a guffaw. Last and perhaps least is the John Green era, and I mean John Green books and John Green adaptations. I know all about his Tumblr, by the way. So first of all, back in the good old days, back in my day on Tumblr, when you reblogged a text post, you could edit the text post that you were reblogging. This was for no good reason, by the way. It just made Tumblr all the more unhinged and chaotic. Obviously that feature isn't there anymore, but basically someone did that to John Green and edited one of his text posts while reblogging it, and everyone lost their minds. I will leave the post here. It is genuinely one of the funniest and worst things to come out of Tumblr. But we also need to come back around to John Green's books and adaptations, because I don't think I could ever forgive him for writing The Fault in Our Stars. I'm gonna expose myself a little here. So when I picked up The Fault in Our Stars, I was 13 years old. I was the worst possible version of myself, and I read it all in one weekend and sobbed while reading it, and I thought it was the best book to ever exist. Cut to 4.5 years later, I'm about to graduate high school and I haven't thought about this godforsaken book in years. Suddenly, I'm having a conversation about it and my friend brings up how Hazel and Augustus, the main couple in the book, have their first kiss in the Anne Frank house and go have sex after visiting there. And I go, how the fuck was I allowed to consume that when I was in middle school? And this is just one of many things that now as an adult I don't like about his books. I don't know a lot about John Green himself, so obviously this is not a personal attack in any way, but I'm just going to have to burn the John Green era. So yeah, that is my ranking of Unhinged 2012 and 2013 internet/pop culture moments. I hope you enjoyed it. Give it a thumbs up if you did. Comment anything I missed and make sure you're subscribed for more content like this.